Hello everyone and welcome back to the Keep Productive YouTube channel. Today I'll be diving into an app called Descript. Now this is a sort of application that doesn't really make sense for a lot of people as a productivity tool, but it might help those who are trying to be more productive with things like editing, podcast recording, things like that. And what I thought I'd do in this video is sort of an overview, and this sort of really interests me, this topic, and give you an idea for how it works, what it does, and things like that. We do have an affiliate link for these guys, so if you did want to go with them, it'll be in the description, but all my opinions are my own on this application so far. So as you can see here, this is Descript's sort of drive. It's the home page to your work, and we've only just started using it. So for example, this morning, I've just recorded a tutorial on Motion, and it's another productivity application. Bit more productivity application than this, and basically I used the screen recording and the audio to basically record this, and I'm actually using this right now too to actually record this video. So it'll be interesting to see what the edited version of this looks like as we're speaking. Now, as you can see, what it does is, as I read this out and sort of basically read through the sort of my combination of my script and my thoughts as I was using this app, it transcribes it. And basically what happens is, what you can do is, if you select certain pieces of text and remove them, is it removes it from the editing. So basically it's almost like a document that as you take stuff out, it also edits this in real time. So that's quite a cool concept. And I think why I'm interested in it as a tool for us is because, well, we want to sort of fine tune our process. And this takes a lot of the legwork out of manually editing a recording because of this happening here. You can just remove certain elements and you can listen to it. And there's some features that sort of make life a lot easier for our editor. So we're trialing this process and we've had some good results. We did a video called How I Organize Through Sansama, and it considerably dropped the editing time by probably about 20 to 30 minutes for that whole video, which is not bad. Like, taking back that amount of time, yes, massively would take it. So there's a few features. So this I haven't edited yet, but basically if I go to this little cog, you've got shorten word gap, and shorten word gap basically takes the length of time between certain words or certain pauses and narrows them down dramatically, so that it makes it a lot more sort of readable, so that the pauses that might be in between stuff actually be refined. You can also remove the filler words as well. So every time I say or ah, ooh, you can remove all those filler words that you do say. There's also stuff on transcription errors and multicam. I haven't checked that out yet, but I actually recorded directly into their audio recorder as well the other day, and it worked fairly well. So it's being a little bit laggy because I think I'm using it to record and it's sort of like Inception here. But one of the things that I found was that the exporting, it did take a little bit longer than I expected. However, when I used it to sort of edit, and when it was sort of without this sort of slight lag, it actually was pretty fast, and I was able to quite quickly edit something whilst listening to it at the same time and removing those sort of pesky elements inside of it. Now down here, you actually have a sort of timeline view of your full timeline, and what you can do is a bunch of things like cutting, blading, ranging, sort of stuff you do in a classic editor. And over on this right hand side, you can do stuff with the sound and clip inspection and track inspection and things like that. Stuff you typically find in properties of an editor. We use Camtasia, for example. Now that's one thing I want to state, is that when we finish with this file, I'll go up here to share, go to export, and what we're doing at the moment is actually just file exporting it as a video or an audio if it's audio only. Then we're actually polishing it off with our regular editor we use. So what we're actually doing is just taking a part of the process that takes quite a long time, narrowing it down, and then just adding the beautification and the branding and all the stuff that we consistently do to finally finished editing piece. So that's why it takes a dramatically less amount of time, because we can still bring in the assets and elements we need over the top to explain something and still have saved time on video and editing. So it's quite an interesting process that we've done recently. The only thing I'd say is actually the transcription in real time isn't as good as I initially thought it would be. So what I would say is, for example, I say hello everyone to start this video and it comes up with hello Vern. It doesn't quite understand everything. And you can see here, like I say, it's not motion, it's not Notion, it's motion. And as you can imagine, it doesn't come up quite accurately. But I guess that doesn't really matter as much. Something that you can do is naturally, you know, like still get an idea of what you're saying, and it still comes through as audio as well. On this left-hand side, I can open a project and I can add images over the top. So I can actually do it as a full tuned editor. But the reason why we don't at the moment is primarily because it does take up, we want to use Camtasia for the rest of it. Maybe in the future we will. The only issue you do get is, so if I go to back to Drive, is on the free plan, you only have, I believe I saved the plans down here. Here we go. So the plans, on the free plan, you only have 3 hours of transcription and full editing, unlimited screen recording. And then on the creator plan, which we're on, we get 10 hours per user per month and watermark free video export. So you do get some good sort of options, and you can upgrade to 30 hours if you want to. And the Pro includes things like overdub, which we haven't played around with yet, but basically what it does is it makes it a bit more audio opportunistic. So for example, if I missed out something when I'm saying something, then Steve, who is our editor, could go in and actually overdub it by saying, if I accidentally said 20% off, it comes up 10% off or something. But it gives you an idea. And to be honest, like if this process works in the long term, $15 per user per month, $30 overall is actually going to be a good saving for us, because it considerably takes a lot of time out, and I could be getting more videos out in the day, and the editor could be getting more videos out through this process. So what's cool is you can have different projects for different things, and there's a few settings here when it comes to download. And it impressively actually works offline, which I didn't think it would. And one other thing is that the drive is quite easy to use. You can also do screen recording and camera recording, and they have something else called a Studio Surround Enhance, which I used for one of these features, and actually the audio was considerably better, and that's one thing that I did note about it. And there are a few settings up here with playback that you can naturally modify. So that's an overview of this application. One other thing that might be helpful is, you know, I mentioned filler words. Well, you can actually find times you say other words that you want to remove. So obviously it picks out all the filler words, but if you're on Pro, you can find more filler words like, you know, like, and repeatable stuff that might be expanding too much of your video time and sort of fill the gap. I do this all the time, so chances are I'll probably go to Pro soon. But all I have to do to remove all those ums is go apply to all. So it's quite a decent sort of setup. So I'm not going to show you the imaging side of stuff just because I want to show you how we're using it right now, but you can drag images in and they appear on the screen, and naturally you can use a regular camera. I think I did this with a heavy Canon file on ranking best value to-do list apps. And actually, it actually did really well to sort of process that actually. The export did take a little bit of time, but as you can imagine, it probably would with any application. So it's taking a lot of time out of the process so far. I'll keep you updated. Maybe I'll do sort of like a 3-month overview of how and well it's working as a systematic process. But hopefully it'll give you an idea of what Descript can do as a basics for you folks. Hopefully this was interesting, guys, and I look forward to sharing more with you in a future video. Cheerio.